No.
Tonight on Family Secret. The loving father who lost himself in the Indian Raj.
Isn't that crazy?
And the granddaughter who wants to solve a mystery for her nana.
Something I've always wanted to know.
Could I get a copy of these documents?
Finally, after 8 decades, the truth about a disappearing dad's dodgy double life.
Oh, so he's
a bigamist.
married.
Here is a scandal indeed.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Masters, what did you do?
A family secret is like an iceberg, a little bit on the surface and a heck of a lot more underneath.
It's Lucy McKim here. My nanny used to live in India with her mum and dad and 2 older sisters, and one day her dad, Albert Masters, just disappeared.
Lucy McKim wants help to solve the mystery of what happened to her great-grandfather, Dougie Masters. Last seen in India, in a city called Jorhat, why did he suddenly vanish? It's a mystery that has consumed the McKim family since the early 1930s. I'm David Lomas. Perhaps I can help. I'm off to meet Lucy McKim. Lucy is a 29-year-old health and safety manager. Dougie Masters was her great-grandfather, an Englishman who went to India after World War I, looking for opportunity.
Hi.
Hiya. Just been reading your file and listening to your voice message. So Dougie's disappearance has always haunted your grandmother, Angela.
Yeah, she's in her early 80s now and has searched for so many years and wanted to know what happened to him, why he just disappeared like that.
And your mother, she's been quite fascinated by this, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Some might say obsessed, and this is one particular mystery which has always just sat on the family tree as unresolved.
Well, this is the last photo we think that we have of Dougie. He would have been about in his early 30s.
This is in India?
Yeah, this is in India. I don't know, probably about early 1930s.
Quite a lad, isn't he?
Yeah, dressed in all of his horse riding gear.
And what do you think happened to Dougie?
I'd love to know.
My next port of call will be Australia, where Lucy's grandmother, Angela, is now living. 3 generations of the McKim family are gathering today. All want to solve the family secret of why Dougie, a man who'd led an exotic life during the British Raj, suddenly, mysteriously disappeared. I want to meet Angela, Lucy's grandmother, and discuss the letters her adored father wrote her and her sisters when they were back in England, just before he exited their lives.
So what is this, Nana?
This is my father.
So this is from an Indian newspaper.
But I know that's from there.
Oh, right. 1922, March 17th.
Yes.
Wow.
So, Angela, just tell me, what sort of man was your father?
A lovely man. Yes, he really was. I never remember him raising his voice to us at all. You know, he was a lovely father.
And your mother, what sort of lady was she?
My mother was a headmistress, and she was a very domineering, stoic woman, I think. And I think my father was just the opposite.
The family's always heard lots of fascinating tales about what happened.
All sorts of tales about him, yes.
And what about you guys? What did you hear?
My memory all through my childhood was that he'd been eaten by a tiger.
And I believed he went into the desert training horses and never returned.
Oh dear, I did think of some lovely stories, didn't I?
There's the letters which your dad wrote back to you children in England. I just wondered if you'd read that one to us.
Now, Jean, you must read this letter to Pam and Angela because they can't read, can they? Do you all like your new house? It must be nice for you to be all together and play. Do you know on Sunday a very big wind came and blew the cow shed right over? One of the baby cows was inside and got hurt on its back. It is all right now and running about again. Now be good girls and all help Mummy a lot, won't you? Goodbye this time. Lots of love from Daddy.
It's hard to work out how a man who could write such loving letters as you've just read out there could just disappear and never contact you or your sisters ever again.
Gosh, he looks really young there, doesn't he?
Long time ago.
What do you think happened to your father, Angela?
I have absolutely no idea at all. Really, we don't know. But I think it's strange somebody can disappear like that. Don't you?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Lucy, I think we've got a mystery. Shall we go and do it?
Wow, yes, absolutely.
It's a deal, then.
Wonderful.
Something I've always wanted to know.
Absolutely. I'll do my best to solve your mystery, Nana.
Thank you.
So Angela's dad was a loving father. His wife and children waited in vain for him to arrive in England. As the months dragged on, the mystery of Dougie Masters deepened. He had disappeared into a black hole, perhaps not of Calcutta, but certainly of India. I'm in Jorhat in the province of Assam in northeast India, an area known for its rich tea plantations. It was here during the 1920s that Dougie Masters, a working-class motor mechanic, enjoyed a pampered upper-class lifestyle in the last days of the empire. I've come to meet a local businessman and historian who has information on the behaviour of the British planters. And incredibly, Dougie is well known to Mr. Omid Ghatani.
He lived in a big bungalow in Sinamara. Yeah. Lot of servants, very glamorous life.
Okay.
As we found from the records, he was found involved in a financial irregularity. But if you want to know more about Mr. Masters, my friend Bhamra is there.
So your friend has information which...
Bhamra can give more details to you.
I'm in northeast India on the trail of Dougie Masters.
You take me? Right.
Dougie had it all: family, status, privilege, and 14 horses for racing and polo. Yet Dougie was not everything he seemed, and they have long memories around here. I'm heading to a tea plantation just outside of town, specifically to a gentleman's club where Dougie, along with his mates, enjoyed relaxing pink gins at sunset. It's a place they still have reasons to remember him.
This club was established in 1876 by the British planters who came here to play golf, play tennis, have a drink at the bar. Mr. Master was a member of this club. He was also the honorary secretary of the Jorhat races. And there's a very interesting story about him in connection to the Jorhat races. Come to the bar, I'll tell you about it.
Sounds a good idea. So, what's the interesting story?
The record of the Jorhat races of 1931 showed that the whereabouts of Mr. Master was unknown, and his house was also locked.
It was locked up and he was gone?
There is no trace of Mr. Master after that.
Never seen again?
Never seen again. Here is a scandal indeed.
A scandal and intriguing.
Yes.
Intriguing because not only was Dougie Masters missing, so too was a large amount of the club's money. But where did he go when he closed up his house and did a runner with the rupees? Dougie Masters went somewhere he believed he'd never be found. After an extensive search, I found a shipping record that reveals he returned to England. I've arranged to call Lucy with an update. Hiya, Lucy, it's David here.
Hi, David.
I'm in the town where Dougie used to live.
Oh, wow.
It's where Angela last saw her dad. It's a crazy place. Here, have a look.
Oh, wow. Mum, come and have a look at this. David's calling from India.
We found out a bit more, but I'll tell you about that later.
Yay.
What I'd love, Lucy, is if you can come over and join us in London.
That sounds like a great idea. If Lucy's going, I'm coming.
All right. London. I've arrived in Britain ahead of Lucy and her mum Lisa. In the meantime, I've matched some pieces of the jigsaw, and I think the McKim women are in for a shock.
So, have you got any news for us?
We'll go and grab a coffee, and I'll tell you, but interesting.
Oh, God.
Yes, of course we want to know. We do want to know.
So, what we found in India, Dougie had a pretty impressive lifestyle. He was living on a tea plantation. It's a pretty stunning location where he was, and 20+ servants, as the guys in India tell us. But the more interesting thing, which we did find, Dougie became the secretary of the Jorhat Racing Club.
Oh, did he?
You might like to read from about that paragraph there onwards.
Owing to the whereabouts of the Honorary Secretary, Mr. A.D. Masters, being unknown, and to the fact that the stewards cannot obtain access to his bungalow, the Jorhat Racers authorised Mr. Edward B. Sim to approach the Mercantile Bank of India for a statement of all transactions connected with the Jorhat Race Fund.
Oh!
Has he run off with the money?
Hang on, look.
Ah, here is scandal indeed.
He's taken off with the money.
Oh, my gosh.
On today's terms, be probably about $60,000 US.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Masters, what did you do?
First Avenue House in High Holborn. Cheers. I can prove Dougie Masters came back to England in 1931. What I don't know yet is what he did next. The probate office keeps records of British wills. On the theory that dead men don't lie, I'm going to find out if Dougie met his maker back in England. I need to look through possibly 30 years of records. It's tedious work. Then, in 1963, I find a will, and with it, the method by which Dougie became invisible. He changed his name. Dougie became Alec St. John Masters. But even more amazing, the will gives up another stunning secret. I've been trying to track down this guy here who's called Albert Douglas Masters. But it also seems he's called Alec St. John or St. John Masters.
Right, yes.
Would you have a copy of his will here?
I'll just check that now for you.
Thank you. Cheers. You've got it. Fantastic. This is the original, isn't it? Jeepers. So, he talks about a wife here.
We will have a record of that as well.
Is there any chance I can get a copy of these documents?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, certainly. We can order those for you.
Could I get a copy now? I'm in London investigating the disappearance of Dougie Masters. I've already shocked Lucy and Lisa McKim with the news that their ancestor did a runner from India with stolen money. But today, they're in for a double whammy. So, yesterday, a bit of a shock?
Yeah, I thought about a lot last night. I'm just thinking, how much more are we going to find out?
It's a bit of a tough one, but it may just slightly get a little bit tougher.
Ooh.
Just have a read of that.
Be it known that Albert Douglas Masters, otherwise known as Alec St. John Masters, otherwise known as Alec Masters, so he's changed his name.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my heart's just going. Who's this? Florence
Mary Alice Masters. The widow.
Oh, he's remarried.
He's remarried.
Oh, I feel shaky.
And I'd just like you to have a read of this document here now. The interesting one is the date of the wedding.
32. So that's only about a year after he went missing.
We could find no records of a divorce.
Oh! So he's
a bigamist.
Married. But that's just so bizarre.
Do we know for sure he didn't
You couldn't get a divorce in that time, in those days.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, so did they have children? Oh, gosh, all these questions are rushing through my head.
How are you feeling now about having to explain it to your nana?
I think we'd considered all other possibilities, but not this one. This one's going to be a bit of a bombshell, I think.
Now I want to find someone who actually knew the elusive Alec St. John Masters. We know he had a wife, but did he have another family? Were there children? His new name takes me all over London to the most unlikely places. Been looking all around London for these?
Wonderful, £20, Alex.
Eventually, the search leads me, Lucy and Lisa to Scotland. Until we turned up, retired Oxford Don Alan Organ had no idea the man he knew had led a double life.
I only ever knew Major Alec St. John Masters. None of the background was just coming out to me now.
Right.
I would meet him usually when I took my mother around to have afternoon tea with his wife. And he would talk to me about engineering matters.
Did they ever have any children?
Well, no. But then, what can I say about him for sure? There were no children that I was aware of, and my mother talked about them as though they'd been childless. I think I got the impression that they'd married rather late.
I've left possibly the most remarkable discovery to last. It transpires that, despite his shady past and a family that never stopped looking for him, Alec St. John Masters boldly led a very public life. Alec St. John Masters, tell us about him.
Well, he was a pretty remarkable guy because he was the service manager at Triumph Motorcycles in the era when the bikes appealed to the likes of Marlon Brando, Steve McQueen, people like that who were big names in Hollywood in the day. And he was the guy who would have serviced their motorbikes. And we have some photographs here that may or may not be the person you're looking for. What this is essentially is the publicity shot at the Triumph Motorcycle factory before these three very senior managers set off to ride from one end of the country to the other in a blaze of publicity.
Oh.
That is them down at Land's End in Cornwall. Do you recognise anybody there?
On the right, yeah.
Do you both think it's the one on the right?
I think so.
Well, I can tell you that is indeed one Alec St. John Masters.
Oh, goodness me.
Isn't that crazy?
It was quite, it's quite a significant event. And the upshot of that is I wrote a book about it.
Oh.
And your dear grandfather and great-grandfather are features there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait till Nana sees this.
It was the huge publicity stunt. People went out, they, on a reasonable salary, got a motorbike, and all of a sudden, if they didn't like working in, say, this village, they could go to the next village. It is not an exaggeration to say he literally brought mass transport to the masses.
It just seems so crazy that one minute he's trying to kind of cover his tracks and the next minute he's in the newspaper as this quite, what's the word for it, like innovative?
Absolutely.
You know?
He was brazenly breaking the social rules of the day. But in Alec St. John Masters' era, there was never any complaints from the service department.
Goodness me.
So, how are you feeling about your great-grandfather now after what Nigel told you?
Yeah, I think yesterday I felt like his moral character was fairly questionable. I feel like at least this way I get to go home with something that's
we can be proud of him for, yeah.
Well, I have something else which is tangible to give to your nana. I did a little bit of shopping in London and came across a couple of things.
No. Oh my gosh.
Books written by him.
Oh. This is just such a find.
Unbelievable.
She's just going to be blown away by this.
So, one heck of a journey. How are you going to tell Angela that Dougie wasn't the darling dad she hoped?
Yeah, there's been a lot of thought about that. Oh, I really am nervous now.
Well, Angela, we've taken Lucy on quite a journey. I went to India to start with.
Oh, did you really?
And I went to a place called Jorhat.
Oh, really?
Where you used to live when you were young.
Mr. Master was a member of this club, and there's a very interesting story about him in connection to the Jorhat races. Here is a scandal indeed.
My goodness me.
Oh. Does he run off with the money?
Hang on, look.
Ah, he's taken off with the money.
Oh my God.
Mr. Masters, what did you do?
Not very good.
Oh, there's more.
We've known that Albert Douglas Masters, otherwise known as Alex St. John Masters.
Oh, word.
He's changed his name.
Who's this? Florence
Mary Alice Masters, the widow.
There's only 1 year difference between when he left India and he married this Florence.
Bigamist.
So he's a bigamist.
Married.
Yes, a bigamist. Yes.
Good. The plot's thickening.
Absolutely. Wow. It's exciting, isn't it?
I'm glad you think it's exciting. I was worried. I was thinking, oh no.
I think it's exciting.
So, disgraced motor mechanic Albert Douglas Masters lived the last 30 years of his life as bigamist Alec St. John Masters, the major in levers, a hero on 2 wheels.
I knew he'd be important.
All the while, his family agonised over what had happened to their disappearing dad. It's interesting to think that Dougie Masters went to his grave believing his secret was safe. But secrets aren't always secret. They're just mysteries waiting to be solved. I'm David Lomas, and that was Lucy McKim's Family Secret. Next week on Family Secret.
I knew he was going to have a naughty with me.
Sex, lies, and murder at the farm gate.
This was the classic whodunit.
Why didn't they make an arrest?
There's yet another turn in this story.
I'm gobsmacked.